exciting. You have a new album out, Rock and Roll Church. It's actually, I think it's out actually officially today on the 27th as we record it.
Yeah.
Um, I've heard it. It's fantastic. I like it. To me, it feels has like your old sound, but it also has like some fun, a little twist. I almost feel like there's like a little bit like a the melodies of some like Cheap Trick and some other punk stuff mixed together. It's like just like you kind of like raise the bar a little bit on this one, melodically and stuff.
All right. Yeah.
Do you,
Well, maybe it's because of our influences. We're quite broad in our influences. Jonta, the guitarist, he's got more like punk rock influences, and me myself has more like Aerosmith, AC/DC, like 70 rock influences. We try to mix that and maybe put a little bit pop touch in it. Yeah. So I guess that's why maybe.
well, yeah, I mean, I love it. I think like when you hear a song like is it Hometown, which is a good
Okay, you
like
like that one?
I do. It's a little different. It's fun, and that's what I'm saying. It feels like it does feel like the Cheap Trick, the '70s rock a little bit mixed into the punk, and I think that's what makes you guys so much fun because you have an eclectic sound that's not you know
Yeah,
packaged.
yeah.
It's still
And
still
it
dangerous
also
rock
may
and
be
roll.
different. It maybe differs a little bit between the songs on the album, actually.
Yeah,
So we try to have like the produced sound try to be the same, of course, but the sound from different each songs differ a bit.
it does, and I mean, Rock and Roll Church, Demolition Boy definitely have that old school feel of you guys. That's why I thought it was fun for Hometown because I was like, oh, a little different, a little twist. Spread the wings a little bit. Um, the people that have heard it so far have mostly been like music people and probably close people to your group. The feedback you've gotten, what have you gotten back for feedback so far from your
From
local?
the whole album, you mean, or the
Yeah,
old down?
yeah,
Actually, we released it just this day, so we had got a little bit feedback from kind of a couple of German magazines and a couple of French magazines. They actually like it very
yeah.
much.
It really is good, and the thing is because you've had two singles out, you had Rock All Church and Demolition, actually Demolition Boy out, but so it's a little sample for people, and of course radio and people like me hear the albums early, so we had time to absorb it before we
Mm,
talked. It makes it a little more fair and more fun to talk about an album if you've heard it.
yeah.
Um, so to that point though, recording this album seems like it was pretty quick since your last album.
Sean, I tried to walk into the toilet actually
Okay.
and see if there's any. Oh, there's no music at the toilet. Take it from here then. You
Okay.
have this little the ambient sound, and I'm now sitting at the toilet at the low right now, so
I like
this
the
is much better because I couldn't hear you actually.
perfect, and I
I
like
could hear a little bit, but no,
the acoustics are great too.
this is
So it
great.
really gives you the stadium sound talking back to me. You know, the reverb it'll have in your voice
Yeah.
now. The bathroom.
Woohoo!
It's
Uh,
so. That's
it's a
exactly
little bit
you make
stone sound, like ooh, ooh, ooh.
this. You just elevated the interview one layer up now by doing this in the bathroom. Um, the album itself, though, it seems like
Yeah,
you actually put it together pretty quickly compared to the last one. You just had one out like last year. Was it? Is it getting easier to write songs now for you
yeah.
guys in the process, or is it?
Actually, that was mainly because our we had a guitarist on the other album that was called Danne, and he quit the band right after that we released the Back on the Road album. So we got quite yeah, we got quite surprised, and we thought that this ain't gonna work if we're not doing a new album. So we'd like to get up on the back on the road. We want to get back on the road again with a new album.
Yeah,
So we found a couple of guest artists on the new one.
excellent. So who is in the band at this point? Because there's very little information out there, like for your band compared to other artists. You know what I mean? Like members, because you guys have broken up, taking breaks or whatever. right now, though. Who is in the band? Oh,
Okay. The light went down. This could, oh no, this could be a kind of Halloween interview. So
oh, that's great.
crazy. All
That's
right.
funny.
Sorry, what did you say, Sean?
Oh, no, it's fun. So the lineup right now, the record, who's in the band right now as of today and this album?
Who's
The members, yeah.
sorry, I was
Who?
so
No,
distracted
that's
by
fine.
the light.
Who is in the band right now? Who was on the album? Who
Who's
recorded
in
on
the
the
band?
album?
All right, sorry. Yeah. Right now we're four people. We have a new guy like called Joye on the bass guitar, fabulous guy. He's the
Hmm.
newest one, and then we got Bentan at the drums, and
Yeah.
Bentan was also on the Back on Road album, and
Okay.
then Jonta, and then lead guitar and me at the vocals. But it's only me and Jonta that's left from the original band.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, you
And
guys have really been.
we four of us live.
Yeah.
In a couple of hours, we will do the release gig, two release gigs for the new album.
Yeah.
And then we are four of us. And we got kind of a punk rock setup. And we like that. It's a good live act that way.
Yeah.
So,
How is touring now and playing out for you now? Are what's the plan for supporting the album? You got tours, dates planned yet, or what's the?
yeah, we have a couple of touring in Sweden in starting in November and then for the next year, a couple of months. But
Hmm.
we like to go to Germany in French because in French they're gonna release. Strangely enough, they're gonna release an own LP. It's another label in France. I mean, sorry,
Yeah.
France. I say
No,
France.
no, that's.
I got crazy about this Halloween thing.
I'm kind of
So
enjoying it actually.
yeah. So in France, they will release an album of their own. So that will probably lead to a tour in France later in the spring or something.
What album are they gonna? What album are they releasing that's different than this one? A new one or an old one? They're
No,
re-releasing.
they're releasing this one,
Okay,
but they
yeah.
do
They're,
an own copy with an extra song on it, actually. So it's kind of
oh,
special. As we don't know ourselves what will happen, but we think it's quite funny and I'm very excited.
that that is really funny. You guys don't even know.
Yeah,
That's
they just
really.
phone us up and say, "Hello, you want to do your own copy of your album? Is that okay?" Yeah, okay, yeah. Sounds. So
That's pretty.
actually, they love the original album, but they do want to do a sort of release of their own in some way.
That's cool. That's good.
Got
I
a
mean,
couple of bucks for it, so it's fantastic.
well, and the more you have out there, I mean, it's interesting for you guys have such an interesting legacy. It's like what 40 years now. You guys came out. You just at the cusp of the sleaze rock glam metal thing, so you didn't catch the big wave, but you had the cult status, and people have always loved you. You just didn't catch the
Yeah.
wave of popularity. Your albums are cult status albums, So it's not
Oh,
like
yeah.
So anybody that's into this music, has one or two of the albums, and loves them. So to fan like me and at my age, it's great to see you guys come out with an album as strong that is back to back to what you guys were doing, 30, 40 years ago. You know,
Mm.
it's a good thing to see you guys kicking and doing stuff. Does it feel different now? Like
Yeah.
do you like feel like the difference as an artist now than what you were? I mean, the energy probably feels the same. You sound as good. Does it feel different writing songs, or does it just feel like comfortable? Like, you guys are writing together is like home. You know what I'm saying? Like a real comfortable feeling, like locked in.
Mm.
Because you
I
guys
think
have been.
we rounded. Yeah, we're in our 50s these days, of course. So, a little bit more mature maybe, and but we still got the energy actually. Well, this is kind of a revenge for us. We did the Back on Road album last year, and that went out quite well actually.
Yeah,
And we're doing this now, and we're planning to do another one next year. So we do as the bands in the 70s. We try now to release an album every year. So no, and
that's good.
I writing the songs right now. So I've got lots of inspiration and energy to write songs. So I think that's the main thing. when you write lyrics and write songs and got the right
Yeah.
riffs and you want it and you got energy for it. Yeah.
So you play guitar
So
yourself
that's
when you
pretty
write
cool,
songs, right?
actually. We love it. We love it very much.
What's really great is, that when I got the album, what I did is I heard the album, and then I like to go back after I've heard it a few times and play it next to the other stuff. I like to do it with bands, and it's great is if people didn't know who you were back to back, they would not know there was a time difference. Really, I mean, production's a little bit different, but for the most part, it could just be a different producer. Like you wouldn't know when you guys were about, like with how old you were or young you were. It's kind of nice, you know what I mean? It's timeless, is what I'm
Mm.
saying. You know,
Yeah, yeah. If you think that, that's great, of course. That we
it
have
doesn't.
succeeded to make it
Yeah,
feel that way. So that's fabulous.
when you're songwriting, do you feel like you're in a box, like you have to write a certain style for the Glorious Bankrobbers? Do you feel like you're trapped, like, or can you write whatever you want for songwriting? Can you write
Yeah,
anything?
I still think. Yeah, through the years, I've been writing since I'm the guy in the band that writes most of the songs. At least these days, I write
Mhm.
from different kind of angles, and I've been through like pop periods and so on when I write different kind of music. But it's also a touch of rock in it, and it's always, I mean, it's always a kind of rock in it, and it's always guitar in it. So
Yes.
because I just write songs on guitar, and that follows with riffs and so on. And for the last years, I have just write kind of trying to find a cool riff and then mix it with a melody and so on. And actually, I always write songs from the minute I go up. Sometimes in the morning with a cup of coffee, I write the new songs. And when I'm out swimming, I suddenly hear a melody in my head and rush up to the kitchen and find the guitar and just start to play. I think I'm the kind of persons that not sit down with a project. I should write 10 songs. I think they just coming from everywhere. It's like Aerosmith, Zeppelin, AC/DC styles.
Yeah. So you've had a few breaks in the band, like there's been time off, and you've lost your drummer sadly, and you've had a couple over the years. Do you feel like you guys are kind of like in it now to the kind of the end? Do you feel like the band's kind of settled in now, like you guys, like stable? Like you're gonna last for a while again, you know?
I don't know. I don't know if this is what you're meaning, but we always we also are we're pals in the band. We see each
Okay.
other and we pick up each other on the guitars and sit down and try to do something. But also we have I mean we have a long breaks for several years. And myself, I'm also working at a hospital. So sometimes when I'm not playing the right songs, I work at the hospital to get the daily bread to eat.
I hear you. I hear. What do you do at the hospital? I didn't know that. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm working with medical devices, actually fixing medical devices. So it's kind of a little bit scary work at the hospital in the intensive unit.
Has that?
It was very scary during these Corona, the COVID
Yeah.
period. It was very scary because people died all over. It was like 100 people a day in the hospital died. So it's so scary. And I was rushing around the intensive care unit and the emergency unit, and people just screaming everywhere. It was a horrible situation.
Oh, that's
So
awful.
that was a great experience, actually, working in hospital during the COVID.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. Has anybody ever recognized you? Has a fan ever seen you at the
Where? At the
hospital?
hospital?
Yeah. Are they going, oh my
At the
goodness?
hospital, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they know. There are lots of people that know the band that I'm in. But I'm doing the different kind of things in hospital though. So
Yeah.
look, there's the
No,
guy
I
that's
meant
in the
has,
band, and he's carrying a patient right now.
well, but nowadays a lot of artists do other things. But as a fan, though, it'd be neat to see somebody like, hey, wait, because you see him in a different spot that you're not used to. It's always different when you see somebody not in the same place where you're used to. So it's got to be fun for somebody to see you and be like, hey, I wasn't expecting to see you
Yeah,
here. Yeah, you know.
yeah. There's a quite, yeah, precis. Exakt. It's a totally new yeah, area or way of meeting me. Yeah, and actually, yes, we have a finished. We had a ready video ready for releasing in like 3 weeks, and that's for hometown song.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, so it's a little bit. We're trying to hit it in the US because it has a little country touch somewhere. So a slide guitar and so on. So we think that maybe could break in the US. We hope for that actually.
Yeah, it does have a good
What
spot.
do you think about Hometown?
I like it. It's my favorite song actually on the album. It's my favorite one, so I'm happy to hear it. You can do a video for it. I do think it's a good
Mm.
choice for a single in the US.
Oh
I think
yeah.
it has the most chance to make at
Oh
least
yeah.
make a dent, at least get some
Yeah.
attention, you know, and work it. You know, that's a song to work over here because it stands out. It's different.
Mm. Yeah.
You know, it's not.
I think it's different. It's different in a good way. It
Oh
also
yeah, yeah, yeah,
fits
yeah.
in the whole album. Yeah.
In the album it's different, but it's different in a
Mm.
way, like, yeah, in a good way, of course, but it's different in what's going on now musically. So it'll stand out a little bit more, which is what you want, you know. It's, you know, you
Mm.
always want to have something
Yeah.
that's not going to be ordinary or, you know, or
Mm.
the same as everything else. It's good. This is
Oh yeah.
do you guys any chances of ever come back to the US at some point? Any hopes to play the US at any point? Playing in the United States?
We
Any?
hope so. We haven't any. No, we haven't actually any management in US. So we hope, of course, to get one. We were in the US like 89, 90. We
Yeah.
recorded an album at CBGB's live album. So and there we did a kind of short tour for like 3 weeks. So that was fabulous. But so we love to come back to US, of course. That should be a real groundbreaker, of course.
That would make a huge difference, I think, in your sales too. Is you guys getting over here and playing and people seeing the real thing? You know,
Yeah,
I know you guys were here like a long time ago
yeah, of course.
for a short period, but coming back now, as
Mm.
good as you guys sound, you know, I know it's harder
Yeah,
financially, but I think it
yeah.
would be a better thing for the album too at some point. Something a little,
Yeah, Sean, I think there's people that want to get in the toilet.
yeah,
It seems like this is the only
yeah.
toilet, so I have to go out. But
Appreciate. We do what we do. You know, you do the best.
yeah,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
yeah,
Okay. Bye bye.
it's nice that you like the album and peace. Keep in touch.
Peace. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.